Now, so you did a little bit of an analysis in comparing brokerages out there. How would you say that we stacked up against the competition? And what was what were some of the primary factors with why you went with us instead of some of the other guys out there?
Yeah, the primary reason was I actually bought this same business through another brokerage, and I initially, because I didn't reach out, right? My sister reached out. Initially, I was going with the same brokerage, but after some thinking, and I realized it only makes sense to put the business out there to a different audience, and not each brokerage has the same audience. And it wouldn't make like I realized it wouldn't make sense for me to put it with the exact same people that looked at this business a year ago. It's just to get it in front of different eyes and more eyes, right? So it didn't really benefit me that much to put it with the same brokerage, with the same commission, whatever structure they had. Especially when, the audiences grow year to year, but their buyer pool, I'm not sure how much it would have grown in that year. And, what I paid for the business and what I was thinking, what they presented me at what they thought it was worth. I thought I'd have a better shot at putting it with somebody else and seeing what the market could dictate. And as you know, I wasn't really in a rush to sell. It wasn't something that I had to get rid of right away. So,
comparatively speaking, the valuation that we assessed, would you rate it as the same, higher, lower than the other brokerage?
It was significantly higher. It was, if we were to calculate based on what the other brokerage was putting at versus this, the other brokerage was coming at almost a 2.1, 2.2 multiple. That's on your monthly net times the amount of months, and one being 12 months. But it was about 2.1, which I just felt was way too low. Especially, the business I sold was a little unique because it wasn't a traditional Amazon business. It actually had some IP to it, had some patents, and we were part of programs where we could dictate that market and that sector by taking anybody off that we wanted to, having, the kind of that court order through Amazon too. So it wasn't a straight up, I just felt it wasn't, if it was a straight up Amazon business that didn't have this kind of extra aspect to it, maybe it would have been a little bit lower. But I just felt there was a little more than just a traditional, personally, as me with my knowledge for the last 5 years, it's kind of hard to come upon a business that has something that will pretty much guarantee your stakehold in that niche. So
yeah, so we came in at a high 3 annual, so trailing 12-month annual valuation, and we went out there. So we started talking, I believe in June. We got out and listed in July. We had a contract in August and closed in September.
Yeah, it was really quick. We actually closed one day earlier than when we were supposed to close. So
yep. And
it was pretty on time. The timeline was pretty good. People we worked with were really straightforward, but in terms of, I think we got the offer probably 2 weeks into listing or 3 weeks.
Yeah. About 2 weeks after it first went live, we had an offer. We had over 80 NDAs in the first 3 days from when we listed. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?